Hello, everyone, and welcome to this live stream that I am super pumped about. If you've ever felt that tech and software was just a series of zeros and ones, buckle up because today we're about to add some color to that binary world. Technology isn't just about algorithms, is what I've learned. It's about the connections that it helps you foster. And nowhere is this truer than this organization that is called BETCA, the Belagavi Technology Companies Association. For those still syncing their clouds, is the driving force behind Belagavi's thriving tech momentum. BETCA's intent is to be a beacon for all tech firms in Belagavi, ensuring that the tech scene doesn't just boot up, but actually thrives. So Belagavi isn't just tapping into traditional IT anymore. From embedded systems to wireless communication, from harnessing the power of AI and cloud computing to even machine learning, the tech scene in Belagavi is absolutely thriving. The upcoming Belagavi Tech Meetup, which is happening on the 22nd of September in Belgaum, isn't just an event. It's a testament to how Belagavi is evolving into a hub of digital innovation. Wondering why this live stream then if the event is on 22nd September? Well, in the world of tech, every major product has a beta version. And like that beta version, think of this as your sneak peek before the main event actually premieres on the 22nd of September. And with that, you might also notice that every beta version might have a tendency to have a bug or two. And looks like we've experienced a bug because RK has mysteriously disappeared. We'll try and see if we can add him back, give him just a couple of minutes. But I'm seeing comments are already coming in, which is really, really good to see. So we're broadcasting live on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Wherever you are tuned in to for this particular live stream, drop in a comment, say hi, where you're tuning in from. If you're in Belgaum, if you're around Belgaum, do you plan to be in Belgaum for Ganesh Chaturthi? Will you be able to attend this event? Drop in a comment, and when you do, I should be able to feature that comment on screen. So, like you see, Joe Brito has gone ahead and commented all the best to BETCA. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate that comment. We love your support. Do make it if you can. So, everyone who's tuned in, drop in a line, drop in a comment. I'll be able to feature this on screen. If you have a question for our guests, please do put in that question as a comment. I'll feature it and we'll get those answers. Vivek, really cool to see you, man. How have you been? It's been a long time. Thank you again for your comment. We're really, really looking forward to hopefully meeting you. And my good friend Amey has also sent in a comment. Yes, I know you're watching this, Amey. Thanks for tuning in. Super excited. Thanks for all the help that you've been doing for BETCA. You've been one of the powerhouses behind trying to make this happen. Another comment from Betco saying that, from Joe, who says that all the best, BA Dukes. I don't know what that is, but thank you, Joe. And then Prasad also, who's been in Belgaum tech scene for like the last 10 years, comments saying that he's attending. Prasad, look forward to catching up in Belgaum and then maybe even getting a taste of that BBC that you and your restaurant are really, really famous for. Uday, thank you, Uday. We'd love to kind of collaborate with AAB, but you've been already behind the scenes helping us. Thank you for all your efforts. Again, really excited to making this happen. So with that, it's time for me to introduce you to my friend and speaker for today's session. I'm thrilled to have with us a tech wizard who isn't just content with surfing the tech wave, but is also dedicated to shaping its very currents. Let me introduce you to Parag Naik. Serial entrepreneur might sound like a tech jargon, but Parag actually embodies it. From co-founding India's first private fabulous semiconductor company, Sankhya, to being an intrinsic part of India's electronic design innovation, he's the kind of tech leader who doesn't just follow trends, but he actually sets them. Parag is a named inventor on 25 of US and India patents in the area of VLSI design, CPU SDR architecture, digital communications, signal processing, and hardware software co-design with code generators. As if all of this wasn't enough, Parag is considered to be one of the world's most foremost authorities on software-defined radios as a technology for broadcasting, TV white space technologies for rural broadband, and satellite communications. With that, welcome, Parag. Thank you for joining us today. Super happy to have you.
Thanks, Adil. That was a long introduction. Yeah.
Long introduction, but much needed. And for those in Belgaum to know that you are that GIT guy who has shown and demonstrated that this is possible. So thank you for joining.
And St. Paul's.
While we wait,
GIT and St.
and
Paul's.
St. Paul's. So while you're talking about St. Paul's, why don't you tell us which house were you from?
Red. That's why you see the
Red.
color behind red.
Yeah, red always lost.
I wear it on my sleeve, right?
Red always lost. Blue were the champions.
Not during our times, right? So,
but we'll wait for RK to show up in just a bit. But there's another comment that's coming from Raju Patil. Raju, good to see you, yaar. It's been years since we last caught up, but looking forward to catching up with you, Raju, in Belgaum. Do join us if you can. So again, all of those who are tuning in, if you've tuned in on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook, wherever you are from, drop in a comment so that we know that, hey, you're watching this. If you have a question for RK, if you have a question for Parag, please do share that question and we'll be able to broadcast it instantly here. Share with the world your question. We'll try and see if we can get some answers, okay? With that, it looks like RK has solved his technology problems and he is back. With that, let me introduce you to RK. I've known RK for a little over, and Parag both actually, for maybe perhaps 15 years now. And with over 3 decades of experience under his belt, by no means am I saying he's old, RK's dedication to the domains of telecom, embedded software, and semiconductors has made him a cornerstone in the tech community. As the co-founder and CEO of Vayavya Labs, he's not just scaling tech and products, but pioneering pathways. RK started out his career as a flight lieutenant in the Indian Air Force, a commissioned officer trained in communication systems and computer-aided measurement systems. It's clear, whether it is in the air or the tech runway, RK has always been about taking off and never really looking back. So with that, thank you, RK. Glad to have you join us.
Yeah, he's used to fueling midair also. So.
Thanks, Adif. I had a technical glitch at the start of the program and I logged out. And I had to figure out whether it was a mobile connection or internet. But thanks, I'm back. Good to be joining you.
I'm glad you're back. And I was just telling our viewers who have joined in, for every tech product launch, there is a beta. So this is a beta, and some betas have bugs. So we're trying to solve them while we can. And I'm glad this is sorted. But looks like somebody's commented that they know that how dedicated both of you are. So kudos to that, to both of you. And then there's another message from Sophie, who's really excited to attend the meetup in person. So again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Keep putting in your comments. We'll keep featuring them on the screen. Please ask your questions. Let me get started because I've got a bunch of questions. Let's start with you, Parag. How do you envision Belagavi's potential in becoming the next big startup hub in India? And why are we kind of getting together? What are you looking to get out of this meet?
Yeah, so you know what, I've always wondered, right? Belgaum has always been Belgaum or Belagavi or Belgav, depending on which part of the region. Just like Bangalore has got 5 names to it, right? Bengaluru, some call it Bangalore, same with Belgaum. It's always been the bridesmaid and never the bride, right? I think the time has come now, largely because I think for 2 fundamental reasons. I think, tech ecosystems build where there's diversity, right? I think diversity even in nature is very important, and both Belgaum has both bountiful ecological diversity as well as diversity of cultures, right? And I've seen very often one of the things that where ecosystems grow. I mean, even in the valley, right? People aspire to go to the place, and if you're not from the place and if you want to go to that place, I've never seen anybody who we have taken to or got to Belgaum or has not come to Belgaum doesn't like the city, right? That's the first fundamental aspect of Belgavi's attractiveness, and that's a key point. The second one also is is a talent pool that is available in Belgaum, and just like we've come up from from as Belagavi as it can get, from from St. Paul's to GIT. We could the fact that we could get this and bring this out in a place like Bangalore and others, I'm sure we can do more now. Earlier, about 10-15 years back, or even before was not the right time because we didn't have the right connectivity, right? We didn't have the road connectivity, the physical connectivity, the air connectivity, and also physical and also cyber connectivity, the internet connectivity. All of that are being sorted out now. With that and post COVID, I've realized that it doesn't matter where you operate from, and small is good. And then the final one that I want to leave you guys with, right, is the whole idea for Sankhya, which you introduced as India's first initiative, and we predate this Atmanirbhar stuff by about 15 years. Yeah, 15 years, RK, right? Yeah, 15, 16 years. We have always been telling people that all the cool apps that you write, at the end of the day, they need some hardware to run on. And then finally, during COVID, people realized that, you also need some hardware, right? Something that has to be feel and touch to be able to do that. That initiative was conceived and started in Belgaum. I have this very nice, before even Angel, the word Angel was invented, Angel Capital was invented, we had actually done it in Belgaum in 1999 and 2000 when we formed a company called Smart Intra. So I fondly call them the NH4 Angels, and I've used this very often. I guess NH4 people should know by now, right? It's the road linking from Pune to Bangalore. So we've got investors in a semiconductor company in villages dotting from Davangere to, I think, Satara. So that belt is the one that actually created Sankhya, right? And it is not all the suited, booted fellows in Bombay who thought we are smoking dope of I don't know what variety. It's still not legal in India, but that variety, when we started creating this kind of pipe dreams, and we are today 15 years later, and everybody is talking about it. And I'm sure, given the fact that the roots were in Belagavi, I mean, it won't be far off and far-fetched to imagine that you'll have stuff coming out of Belgaum very soon.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Parag. There's a question already for you from someone on LinkedIn. And they're saying they have a question for you. How did you get a hold of both hardware and software and nail that together?
Yeah, you should not be worried too much about what you wear, right? Soft or hard. I think you can. I mean, once you do a startup, you also have to cook. Sometimes you have to prepare tea. You got to potentially even grow. In fact, we have taught our fellow here, our guy to prepare one of the best filter coffees. So anybody who comes here loves coffee. I think it's just a matter of interest. It's not a matter of putting, we try to solo as ourselves, and I think that happens in larger companies where even in software people get super specialized and they say I'm an application software engineer, or I'm a embedded software engineer, or I'm Falana Dimka, I'm JSS and BSS. I don't know, every day these guys keep coming up with some new terms, right, that I don't understand. If you understand maths and physics, and if you have a liking for maths and physics, I think both are kosher. I mean, if you know chemistry, which is even better. I was bad at chemistry, so well, I'm good at chemistry, I hope, because the people are stuck around with me for some time. And the chemistry in the physical sense of the word.
Yeah, just to add
so
to
Parag, sorry, go ahead, RK.
Yeah, just to add to Parag, I mean, these titles and all are like whether you're a hardware engineer, software engineer, a lot of people call it as I'm bored with testing. But I think so the whole thing, if you're building a solution or a product, and it is very important to know from a user perspective, and to know that you have to go through all phases, and then during like a good cook, which Parag is, of course, I can vouch for it. Okay, you need all the ingredients to come and spice up. And in startup, those who have done startup, I'm pretty sure we have opened our doors early morning. We have been the last guys to go out. Look, we have made teas for the team, and then these are all stories and then real stories.
All right, thank you for that, RK. So looks like Parag already has a fan following here. Someone's already read his article on cognitive RAN. And then Arvind says that Parag is hilarious. Arvind, try and meet Parag for 15 minutes. You'll really get a sense of not only the humor, the energy, the drive, and a few other things that he can't really say on camera. That's when you best meet Parag in person, when he is in his real elements. Try and do that over an Ajanta dosa in Belgaum, or potentially one of those thali plates that you get in city. and then you will see him in his absolute elements. And while we agree on that, Uday rightly said that, well, you heard Parag, but you haven't gotten RK started yet. RK has his own qualities, which are in a very different domain. And then again, it's really fun hanging out with these guys. So there's another question which says, suggest some books for understanding how the binary get transformed into electrical signal. Man, this is really getting technical. So Parag, maybe you can ping us and we can feature that on the screen so that people can actually go ahead and read.
Yeah, let's do that offline. I think this is too short a
Yeah.
thing to get into technical stuff, but happy to get into that.
Also, someone says that they've already met you both between 2011 and 12 in the YLB office. So glad to see that.
Yeah, we're old men.
We
some of us would have seen us in 2001 also, right? So we've been around for too long. Yeah.
And with that, Amay says that absolutely we're looking forward to seeing you at the meetup. So with that, let's come to RK. RK, talk to us about the significance of the Belagavi Tech Meetup from a founder/entrepreneur point of view. And while you've been at it for years, what are you looking forward to in this meetup?
Yeah, as I said, probably Adil, you remember, okay, to early 2000 or mid 2000s when we used to gather. We just began in the IT Belgaum meetup group. It was just that probably, not too many founders, and the founders are always itching to meet more people, having fun, trying to understand, etc. That's how we used to meet. But this giving a structure to the whole gathering took a long time, and then in last year, I think so, we formed really BETCA, Belgaum Technology Companies Association. Not just an entrepreneur, anybody who loves technology and want to use technology and have an inkling, and the technology could be both hardware, software, anything. That was the idea, and like I said before, the entrepreneurs or the techie guys can't sit alone just like that. Some or the other ideas have to be cooking in their head. And almost 2 years back, something occurred. Why not we do a meetup for our technical professionals? And we said why we should be doing it. No, we said we are sure there are so many hundreds of, why hundreds, even probably thousands of tech professionals from Belgaum, and like us, who went away from Belgaum because Belgaum has no opportunity. After engineering, you want to get a job, you want to get a higher paying job and go out. And then you go out and the destinations are Pune, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore. And then one thing about Belgaumite is for any festival, and especially Ganesha festival, they will never try to miss that. They will always find an opportunity to come back to home. And we said, okay, let's Shubhnam Ganpati se chalu kare. So 4th day of Ganpati festival, because you would have been in Belgaum, spent 2-3 days, then you have met enough of relatives, friends, you want some go out, but you want to remain in Belgaum up to the 5th day. So 4th day is an ideal what I call it as a day when everybody wants to go out, but quickly come back. Then we said, okay, let's zero on that date and call everybody for a networking. Okay, meet, greet, have chai, if I were to use the word chai pe charcha, and then go back to your usual holiday mood. But what might happen on that just 2 hours, 1 hour? Maybe some interesting handshakes, meetings will take place. Somebody will reminiscent about how they went back, and if given an opportunity, they want to come back. And somewhere, some connections are definitely bound to happen. And that was an idea behind the tech meetup. We did it successfully last year. 500, 600 registrations, 350 people turned up. No structure, chaos. But then that was how it was designed to be. But I think so this year there are some more interesting things, and that's how I would say a backdrop for this meetup.
All right, thank you for that, RK. Parag, back to you. You've always talked in our conversations around Belgaum's unique cultural and ethnic diversity with just the right amount of cosmopolitan and its effect on innovation. Give us a peek into your thoughts here.
You're asking me, Adil?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, innovation happens, when you are most comfortable, right? I think two places when you got the right mix of solitude and also, right set of interaction. And when you meet people with, different perspectives, different languages, different perspectives, uh, that's where the intermixing happens, right? Well, some people don't like it, but by and large, that intermixing I think is a key to innovation. There are things that you would you would not have if you have mono. It's the same thing like soil, agriculture, right? You have monoculture, and then the soil gets destroyed over a period of time. You got to have multiculture there as well. So the same thing applies to innovation. And the other thing is an open environment, right? So and I believe growing up in Belgaum and especially in GIT, not attending classes, so that helped. That had build, and going to boys' school now it is, right. So what to me, I always say St. Paul was like a jail, right. The only reason I liked going to school was I liked the inmates there, right. So you get to hang around with the inmates. Otherwise, you're stuck between 9 to 3 with listening to the same thing day after day, right. Who has the ability to sit 35 minutes? Even today, we don't have the ability to sit 35 minutes at a stretch and listen to somebody speak. So I think, more seriously, I think that diversity also helps, and then a sense of freewheeling, right? And also, I've alluded to this in my other LinkedIn post on your stuff, is basically the ability to get into wilderness, and that's one of the challenges that we have in Bangalore, right? That it takes, you just don't want to get out of your house on a weekend. It just takes too long to get out. I think they play important, and of course, individual personalities matter. I think also from an innovation perspective, I wouldn't say it's unique to Belgavi, but to have curiosity and courage. I think the other person had asked a question on on whether software or hardware or whatever, right? And it's a curiosity. I think to do anything innovative, you got to be curious and you got to be very courageous, because you should be willing to look like a fool for a long time, and we did. Almost in our case 14 years that we were laughed at, right? And then suddenly one day things turn around. So that's
maybe that hardware software question is still relevant, Parag, and I think we should bring in RK here. I remember maybe 2007 2008 when I was chatting with RK in his office. I vividly remember, I still don't know if this is true or if they've changed. I think your slogan for Vayavia's website was bridging the hardware software flows. Has that changed? Is that still there? And maybe get your comments there as well.
No, it is still there. Bridging the hardware software divide, what we call it as, or the gap. Yeah, I mean, again, this is very technical specific question, and in our world, okay, the hardware and the software are two different silos, but there is a meeting point of these silos also, definitely, and that's where probably Vayavya, say specifically, operates in between the software, first inception of the software that resides on the hardware or that makes live the hardware. So that's what we, and then the engineering communities are very different in both the things. But the people who write the software and bridge these things are very unique set of species, I can call it as. They have to understand hardware. They have to also understand the software, and more than that, not understanding only that, they also have to understand very well how the hardware has been designed from an architect's mind. That means what has been into the minds of those people who designed this hardware versus what is the mindset of the people who are going to use this. What are their use cases? So that's where we coined the term hardware software, and I can say that challenge still exists, whether it's a large company or a small company. That's an interesting problem area to solve also as well.
All right, thanks for that, RK. RK, what are your thoughts, and how do you foresee Belagavi's role in telecom and semiconductor sectors particularly? Just give us maybe minute or two on that.
not a very great guy to predict something, but one observation I can definitely make is when you look at the growth of a semiconductor solutions in context of, let's say, India, or take for matter Bangalore, okay, and if you were to sample, you will find a great significance of contribution of engineers from northern part of Karnataka. I don't have figures to throw it here, but this is something we are. And in fact, we have commissioned a project with IMEA, MBA guys. Okay, we will come up with some numbers and interesting figures. Okay, some of the great contributions in semiconductor side uh, is really has a prominent number of people, engineering graduates or engineering folks, who have contributed significantly from northern Karnataka region. Okay, so given that as the aspect, and then you have the best example, Sankhya itself, Parag and the team. Okay, doing the first truly a semiconductor company from India, and ground up, all the IPs, patents, design, architectures owned truly by an Indian company. Okay, I might be sounding just beating, but then that's something which you are proud. If that can happen with the North Karnataka touch, I believe this region has a potential to do something in this domain and showcase. I don't know how to quantify, as I said, but their future definitely holds good. Imagine suddenly 50% of these engineers who are non-current suddenly one day decides to come back and do something. Or if every engineer decides, I think so North Karnataka and this region has the best advantage to prove something. That's my thought.
All right. So with that, we're just about at the time, at the clock. Why don't we get like 60-second wrap up, 60-second wrap up from both of you? Start maybe with Parag, saying that, Parag, why are you coming? What do you expect to get out of it? And what do you think people can take out of it? So if you can give us a quick 60-second summary, and then we'll go to RK and wrap up.
Yeah, I always love coming to Belgaum, right? I've got a lot of friends. Get to meet you and RK. As a food and spend hang out. You know, the unique thing. I don't need anything. I keep trying to get a reason to come back to Belgaum. Keep going back to Belgaum every other week, and I stayed there during the COVID time, right? And I had difficulty getting back to Bangalore. What would you get out of it? I think, yeah, fun. I think everything should start with fun, right? We should have fun and have conversations like this, open, frank, free conversations around technology, food, whatever else you want that you can't say on and off camera. You'll have fun there. And what are the last one? What are the last one?
I think you covered it all, Parag.
Okay, fine.
All right, RK, we'll wrap up with you.
Yeah, I think so. Well, fun, food, everything is okay. I think so. As an organizer, I want to say something more. That fiduciary requirement for me. Otherwise, some of the guys' sponsors and other things also at the next year I have to say, okay, what happened, guys?
Okay, we can do a stand-up comedy, right? That's okay, right? That's what they want. People want TRP and eyeballs more than anything else. Anyway, go ahead.
Definitely, but I think so. This time we will present some interesting facts. Basically, okay, from the last meetup to this meetup, what has happened, what has changed, and if you can see an incremental change, more companies, more people talking about this, more Belgamites making Belgaum or Belgaum-based talent as their home. That's an outcome which we will cherish.
Absolutely. So thank you for that, RK, and for Parag. To all our tech aficionados, neural networks have their limits, and so does our live stream preview. But remember, this is just the beta, like we discussed at the start. The full release version awaits at the Belagavi Tech Meetup that's happening on the 22nd of September. If Belagavi resonates with you and you're fluent in the dialects of tech, startups, and innovation, this is where your algorithms or GPS should lead you to. Don't stay static in this dynamic world. Register now at techmeet.betca.org. Again, it's techmeet.betca.org. And with that, be a part of this particular tech symposium. After all, in this fast-paced tech era. It's those who anticipate these trends and stay on top of them will come out. So it's a great ground to network and kind of meet together. So with that, stay connected, keep innovating, and we look forward to seeing you all on the 22nd of September. With that, signing off.